Alright, so hi, I'm Kennedy Garrett, and this is my final video for GHS204. I'm going to be talking about how my knowledge of Latin America has expanded far beyond what I walked into this class with. So basically on the first day of the course, I pretty much only had geographical and some cultural knowledge on Latin America, and that was mainly from my Spanish course in high school. That's pretty much just the baseline I had. And then now, as I sit here at the completion of the class, I have such a rich and holistic understanding of Latin America's past and complex cultures. While some of the material in this course, such as the societal disparities, oppression of minorities, migration policies, abusive labor policies, and extractivist projects' exploitation of Latin American countries' natural resources. While those topics were hard to learn about in research, I now understand how critical it is to view Latin America and its citizens today with their past in mind and the circumstances that they are still living in. And that understanding that their countries have underwent is critical to seeing how these changes are being lived out today. Before entering this class, I was aware that powerful countries such as the United States and Great Britain had colonized and enforced their rulings over many Latin American cultures, but I had no knowledge of the extent to which these measures were enforced. I had not even heard words like hegemony or neoliberalism before learning about those policies in this class. And I'm grateful to have expanded my vocabulary and have new ways to discuss and think about Latin American history. I found it fascinating to learn about how empires such as the Aztecs, Inca, and Mayan were uprooted from their ways of living upon encountering the colonizers, and just how different these ways of living were. I feel like we don't hear about that as much. Like, it was just all uprooted by the colonizers, and how the ramifications of that transculturation are still being lived out today. As I signed up for the course, I really had no idea what the term contact zone had to do with Latin America, and I now understand that Latin America's historical destination for many different cultures, classes, languages, and traditions has led to it being a place of contact for many people with asymmetrical forms of life. I now understand that due to Latin America's historical outcome of contact on its land and oppressing marginalized groups with no will to negotiate a fair resolution, that these marginalized groups are still having their voices taken away and being pushed to the sidelines today. I feel as though I walked into this course with like bits and pieces by which I understood Latin America, and that I now have like the whole story. I can now see that Latin America has long been a dependent culture relying on countries like Great Britain and the United States, which have republics, and that this invasion of neoliberal policies caused vast migration from Latin America, which then led to the horrific experiences and discrimination against Latin Americans. The list of this chain of events goes on, but my point is that I can now follow Latin American history along the timeline of events, rather than just having like snippets and vague knowledge of its history in mind. And learning about how Latin American citizens were denied and still are being denied basic human rights has opened up my mind to the privilege I have living in America. Specifically on this extractivist project that we just completed, just seeing the challenges that these people, indigenous communities, are facing to simply have like the resources they need to survive and live safe and healthy lifestyles, just seeing that that really contributed to my like understanding of American citizens' privilege and just how these challenges are still being lived out and occurring today in Latin America. And overall, I'm just very grateful for the material I've learned in this course, and I look forward to using it in the future to develop a more objective approach when encountering and learning about other cultures. So, yeah, thank you for all you did in this course, and I really enjoyed all the material.